Hi everyone, this is Keith Schmitz with Grassroots North Shore coming to you with another in our Econ4Voters videos hosted by our resident economist Bill Holohan. In physics, as we all know, every action has an opposite reaction. In politics, the reaction is usually greater. Such is the case of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade earlier this year, as we later found out in Kansas and as we run through this year's midterms. And with all things political, the impact will be felt in the economy. Bill will take you through that. So, what are we talking about, Bill?
Thank you, Keith Schmidt of Grassroots North Shore. This is a brief video about the economic impact of overturning Roe v. Wade. The first thing to notice is that the issue is partly an economic issue, and fortunately, two major scholars have weighed in on the matter. Caitlin Knowles-Myers is a distinguished professor of economics at Middlebury College. Morgan Welch is a research assistant at the Brookings Institution. And as we all know, Middlebury College and Brookings are powerhouse organizations. What is the issue here? In arguing for the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the state of Mississippi argued that there is no causal link between reproductive rights and the economic status of women, no link, and that overturning Roe would therefore not diminish women's ability to participate in society. Well, 154 economists issued an amicus brief, that's friend of the court, brief in September of 2021, 2 months before oral arguments in this case. And their findings, based upon econometrics, which is a fancy term for computer generated findings that come from actual data based on lived experience, and not opinion or simply made up facts. And they issued the amicus brief in plenty of time for the justices and their clerks to examine. And Keith of Grassroots North Shore will post the link to the amicus brief. One of the most outstanding findings described in this amicus brief is that legalization of the abortion rights reduced teen motherhood by 34% and reduced teen marriage by 20%. Furthermore, the Roe v. Wade decision in 1973 reduced the number of children who live in single-parent households, live in poverty, were on welfare and social services, and who suffered childhood neglect and abuse. Keith will post several other findings, but let's focus on some key takeaways. First, all this economic evidence was in the hands of the justices and their clerks 2 months before oral arguments and several months before the decision was handed down. Furthermore, during the oral arguments, when the economic issues were being set forth, Chief Justice Roberts interrupted, declared that kind of evidence to be irrelevant. Similarly, uh, Justice Samuel Alito ignored altogether the amicus brief when he was writing the decision for the majority of the court. In other words, economic evidence played no role in the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. To add to that, Justice Clarence Thomas added his opinion that the logic of the Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Clinic, the logic that they had used to overturn Roe v. Wade could also be used in prior cases decided decades ago on contraception availability for married people, contraception available for unmarried people, as well as the relatively recent decision on gay marriage. So this decision in Dobbs is going to have additional influence. Now, back here in Wisconsin, the overturning of Roe v. Wade means that we revert to an 1849 law against abortion and without any exceptions for health and life of the mother, for example, or rape and incest. And Tim Michels, the Republican candidate for governor, says that this 1849 law expresses his views on the matter very closely. So that means that this issue is very much on the ballot, quote unquote, in this November gubernatorial election and the senatorial election as well. I'll turn it back now to Keith Schmidt of Grassroots North Shore.
Thanks, Bill, for your usual deep insight in this issue of abortion access. As the numbers show us from the amicus brief, there is no better anti-poverty program than abortion access and contraception. The first is being put out of reach for many, and the latter is at risk. But this is what the Republican Party wanted and what we in Wisconsin don't have to live with. Both Governor Tony Evers and Attorney General Josh Cowell are two big roadblocks to our 1849 anti-abortion law, which is, of course, very antiquated at this point. We need you not only to vote, but to volunteer to send a big, fat no to the GOP-controlled state legislature. That's your mission. So, if you have any questions for Bill, post them in the comment section below, and please pass this video around. I want to thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.